How's it going, everybody? I am with Dr. Ted again today, and over in East Liverpool, Ohio, at East Liverpool Family Practice. And we just had a little conversation about thyroid function and some of the things that can get in the way of your thyroid being healthy, some of the things that block the iodine in your body. And I just thought it was important enough to jump on and just have Dr. Ted riff on that some. Riff. We don't want to riff on camera. We don't want to do that.
I've riffed before and it's not pretty.
No, we don't want that.
It's actually very loud too. You don't been there, done that. So actually one of the things that's really bad for the thyroid that people don't realize are things like Mountain Dew. Because look at the label, it's got brominated vegetable oil.
Oh, you're kidding. So
any of the orange drinks, any of the Powerades, a lot of those, they have brominated vegetable oil.
So let's dive into that. So some of the problems that we have with our thyroids, we're in the Pittsburgh area, so we get a lot of issues with this.
We're in a goiter belt.
The goiter belt, which that was the first time I heard that today. I like that.
New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan.
And so we need iodine. Even those of you who think you're allergic to iodine, your body still needs it. So what are some of the things that pushes iodine and it competes with iodine?
Any of the other halogens, and that's fluorine and bromine and chlorine. So if you peeps are out in the swimming pool all summer long and you're starting to feel funny because your body is absorbing all that chlorine, the chlorine will displace the iodine.
Yeah.
And the reason that's important is because when you're looking at thyroid numbers, it's the TSH, it's the T4, the free T3. And when you're talking about T4 and T3, that 4 and the 3 are molecules of iodine.
Yeah.
So you absolutely physiologically have to have iodine. You are not allergic to iodine. You may be allergic to the proteins in shellfish. You may be allergic to or have a bad reaction to radioactive iodine, but you have to have iodine. The thyroid loves iodine, and men, it's the prostate. Skin is another big uptake of iodine.
Yeah.
But
so that's a lot. That's a couple things to unpack there. So one, think about your kids that are swimming every day in the pool in the summertime, chock full of chlorine. There needs to be ways to mitigate that. Two, if your doctor has told you you're allergic to iodine, maybe you need to fire your doctor. That's a big deal that your doctor's telling you you're allergic to something that is essential for function, for body, for life. So is there a way we can mitigate issues with our kids swimming in chlorine-filled pools?
Well, the chlorine-filled pools, you can use salt chlorinators, which are better. There are different techniques that you can use to cut down on the amount of chlorine that you need to keep your pool sanitary.
I know people who use coconut oil as kind of a barrier for the iodine. So yeah, you're gonna get your pool a little oily, but you're blocking a lot of those issues.
Yeah. So the other thing is people have been led astray about fluoride and fluorine and getting their kids' teeth treated with that and using fluoride toothpaste, which is garbage. You don't want to do that because that will displace iodine. And the thing with fluorine is that it will interrupt thyroid function, but it also is the basis for a lot of the SSRIs, the antidepressants, because what fluorine does is it causes apathy.
Oh, geez.
Apathy was, that's where a situation where, it's, oh, look, a coyote chewed my arm off. That's okay.
Coyote. Where'd you come up with a
coyote? Sorry. Okay. All right. So
that's
look,
good.
A wolverine chewed my arm off. That's okay. I have another one. So the place they used a lot of iodine or fluorine was in concentration camps in Nazi Germany, because there were tens of thousands of prisoners of war there. They could have stormed the gates at any time. Some of them would have died, but guess what? When you are apathetic and you don't care, they all died. Yeah. They watched them go into the chambers and they all died. And so you don't want that apathy.
Here's
anyway.
One of those things that kind of sounds like, whoa, that's kind of extreme there, Doc. But then you think, like, as a whole, we are super apathetic. Somebody will tell us and give us full proof that, like, you drive over that nail, you're going to get a flat tire. And we're just like, yeah, okay. We just don't care. And so maybe there's some actual substance to what you're saying.
Oh,
which I mean, I know there is, but that's a weird thing to think of. We are just so apathetic about everything. My thyroid's fine. I don't care that I'm swimming and drinking chlorinated water and drinking Mountain Dew with brominated vegetable oils.
Look it up. Look on the label.
I mean, that's some really easy stuff to fix, guys. You can swap out the sparkling water. You can get sparkling water, put lemon and lime and stevia in there. Boom. It tastes like a Sprite. So you can get Zevia, which is a pop that's made with natural flavorings that actually are non-GMO, organic flavorings, and stevia. And you don't have all these weird issues. So we are really apathetic. That's a really interesting point to make.
Yeah. But the other thing is, the iodine is important in all those other organs that we talked about, skin and breast tissue and the prostate for men. So we have to have that. Now, this is the other thing. The most important point to make is that you can have absolutely perfect thyroid numbers. So my parameters are TSH of 0.3 to 2.5. I'd like to see the T4 at above 8, and I'd like to see the free T3 at 3.3 to 2.5. You can come in here and those numbers are going to be perfect. But when we do muscle testing around here, 95% of the time, the thyroid's a priority. That means that's the area that the body wants to fix. You can have multiple areas. If you have stress at an organ and we're contacting that organ and making you hold your arm out, your arm will go weak because there's stress there. So let's say you have stress at the thyroid and the liver and the adrenal glands and the spleen. Around here, 95% of the time, the thyroid wants fixed first. That's the priority. So when we do that, that's your energy. And everybody around here thinks they have adrenal fatigue. Oh, my doctor said I had adrenal fatigue. Well, you do, but why? What precipitated the adrenal fatigue?
Yeah.
The thyroid, because they go hand in hand. What I would like you guys to do is check out Harrower's chart. Harrowers. Dr. Harrower was an MD back in the 30s and 40s, and he came up with the chart that shows all the interrelationships with the endocrine glands. The thyroid is right smack dab in the middle of it.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
I could run and get one, but we're on live TV, and our producers and the commercial people didn't like that.
I'm the producer. I'm looking at the camera right now. So if I knew what I was doing yet with this system, I could share a live stream.
Next time, I promise we'll
figure these things out better. But yeah, so what are some easy ways to increase your iodine intake?
Seafood, sea vegetables. That's it. That's why we're in the water belt.
I love nori, which is the sushi seaweed wrap. I love nori. They make little sea snacks. Some of them are flavored. Be careful because some of them have some bad, like sunflower or canola oil. But Gimme Organics has a good one, and Sea Snacks, SNAX. They have great flavors. But yeah, I use the big wraps, and I'll make sandwich wraps out of, turkey breast, hard-boiled eggs, some vegetables on top of there, and mayo, and roll it up.
Excellent idea. And that gets rid of your bread. We actually have a place here, and a little plug for one of our little shops. It's called Sweet Deli, and they'll put all of your sandwich fixings and they put it in a big piece of lettuce. It looks like you're getting a big honking sandwich there, but you have no bread, no carbs. So that plays into paleo.
Yeah. So we have seafood that involves like crustaceans and stuff.
Sea vegetables, kelp,
all the different seaweeds.
Yep, those are all excellent. And then the meats themselves, all shellfish, all of the ocean caught fish. Those are all good sources of iodine. Go ahead. But I was going to say that the USRDA of iodine is 150 micrograms, which is not much. Matter of fact, that's why they started putting iodine and salt, because so many people in the United States had goiters. You get a big overgrowth of the thyroid, and you get this big lump on your throat.
And I do not recommend iodized salt.
No,
not at all, because the salt itself is not good. If you're going to go salt, you go Celtic sea salt, Redmond's real salt, or pink Himalayan salt. You do not go table salt with iodine.
See, what they do there is they bake it and it becomes a crystal. And so the chlorine and the sodium bind together and they never dissociate. And so that's actually what gets into the tissues into the lower extremities, and that draws water and that causes swelling and blood pressure to go up. You are getting some of the iodine, but that's not your best way to get it.
Now, one of my favorite ways to fix issues is I call it removing the thumbtack. So what are some ways we can remove the thumbtack? And what I mean by that is if you step on a thumbtack, You don't go to your doctor and say, doctor, I need some medication for the Thumbtack. The doctor's going to say, hey, dummy, pull the Thumbtack out. So what are the Thumbtacks in our diet that are blocking the iodine? What are the best ways, things that we can remove from our daily life or remove from our diet that will stop blocking the iodine?
The easy ones are the other halogens, which are fluorine, that's your toothpaste, no fluoride treatments at the dentist, and that's just a big farce. So you don't want to do that. Actually, too much fluoride on the teeth causes fluorosis, and you'll get white spots on the teeth that don't go away.
Sorry, my hygienist friends. I apologize.
Yeah. Anyway, and I have a niece and a brother-in-law that are dentists. But also looking at the drinks, getting rid of the energy drinks, getting rid of Mountain Dew. Read the label. It'll say brominated vegetable oil. And then when they put that bromine in there, it displaces the iodine. Also bread. They use bromine as an anti-caking agent. So
wow, just cutting out the bread's huge. Wow.
Yeah, anybody gets better off of bread.
But that's for so many reasons. That's a big thumbtack in your foot.
So yeah, and then just supplementing your body with good sources of iodine. The company that I use the most here in the office is called Standard Process. The number one product that I use for the thyroid is called Organically Bound Minerals, and that's got chromium and iodine in it.
We just had a friend in a little bit earlier who's super healthy, young guy, and first thing that showed up was his
thyroid
and adrenal, and iodine fixed that for him.
So yeah, and the other thing too, for iodine or thyroid function, to help convert T4 to T3, which is the active form of thyroid, eat about 4 or 5 Brazil nuts a day, because that's got a lot of selenium in it, and your body likes that too. Yeah. So getting rid of the obvious sources of iodine, like the toothpaste and the drinks and the bread, doing some supplementation, and you might not know how much. And that is the nice thing about nutrition response testing, because your body will tell us exactly how many you need. And the other nice thing is for how long. Yeah. Because when you're done with the product, your body tells us that. So there's no guesswork in it, and it makes Mike's job easier as a health coach. It makes my job super easy.
It's a good circle we have.
Yeah.
Each of us make each other's work easier.
And it shouldn't be hard. I mean, it really shouldn't be hard, but that's why dieting is such a multi-billion-dollar industry, because if it's here today, wait a little bit, it'll be back again. And it always comes back, and there's nothing new under the sun. Solomon said that. So, but it's just nuts and bolts kind of stuff. It's common sense, which there's not a lot of. It's not so common anymore. Yeah. But it's much easier than people think.
So Gina says, I'm not a seafood fan. What other ways can I put iodine in my diet? I have Hashimoto's and low thyroid. So so if you're not a seafood fan, you mentioned one of the things is avoiding the certain things. So avoiding the breads, avoiding the pops that have the brominated oils, which I didn't know was a thing. I feel like I was going to say chicken has a lot of iodine, but it has a lot of potassium. Is there anything else aside from C type things that have a lot of iodine?
Not that I'm aware of. It's basically supplementation. So Gina, the very best thing that you can do is pick up your phone, dial 330-386-1111.
It's East Liverpool Family Practice. So if you're anywhere within
3 or 4 days, it's worth the drive.
It sure is. It sure is. So I know for me, I love kelp vegetables, like the sea snacks. So they have like lemon lime, they have chili, they have different flavors of sea snacks, SEASNAX, and it's a little packet. It's like 5 calories in the whole thing. It's a great snack. Because some people can taste the seaweed flavor, but when they flavor them with the chili powder and the lime, it's gone. So, what do you think about Lugol's iodine? Because a lot of people will they'll put it like on a patch on their arm. I used to do that, but I just got away from it because.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do, because it's so variable. Lugol's is really, really concentrated iodine. But we used to do the iodine patch where it would paint the arm, and then depending on how long it took that to resorb, would tell us, oh my gosh, you're iodine deficient, because the body will whisk that away. And I don't even do that anymore. A lot of the stuff, I don't either.
And even Brazil nuts, I've read research that some Brazil nuts, from one one piece of land has great iodine, and then
selenium specifically.
Selenium. I'm sorry, selenium. It'll have great selenium content, and then another piece of ground that's depleted of selenium, then there's like no selenium in it. So it's like even our whole foods, we've done so much damage to the earth that it's really important that you shop local and buy local for those things. Seaweed, the iodine comes from sea life because it is just full of iodine, no matter what, all the time.
And that's why it's the best. The ideal thing is to get on a program with somebody that knows what they're doing. Not somebody that just flies by night and write a book on nutrition. For me, and we're hoping to get Mike through the whole program too, but it actually took 16 trips to Florida for 25 hours of class each time. And I started that 3 years after I wanted to retire, when I was 52. And we're just getting started. We're having fun. People respond really well.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more important. I mean, what's more important than your health? Because once you get it, people will waste their health in pursuit of money, and then when they have their money, they spend all their money to try to get their health back. And it doesn't have to be that way.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that way. You need to balance this out. And life is a journey, and it should be every day something exciting that you look forward to. God wants it to be that way. We want it to be that way. We want to increase your vitality and just the idea that you're going to get up in the morning and bam, you're going to make an impact on somebody's life somehow, some way. And if you are not feeding your body, if you're not putting in all the raw materials, because you can't fix organic with synthetic. There's no synthetic pill, potion, or lotion that will fix your organic body. And if you're a Chevy guy, are you going to take your Chevy to the Ford dealership to get it worked on? No, because you can't get genuine replacement parts at the Ford dealership for your Chevy, and you can't get genuine replacement parts for your organic body from a pharmaceutical company.
You can't fix a Ford Mustang with Toyota parts.
That's right.
So, everybody, this I think we hit some good stuff here. If you guys found that this was helpful for you, hit the like button. Definitely share to us or share this with your friends.
We're reading message.
Yeah, Gina, awesome. Already doing AIP paleo. That's great. And no fluoride, and try to avoid chlorine. That's perfect. That's already a huge step. The next step would be someone like Dr. Ted to really iron down and find laser focus on what you can possibly do to move forward. If you aren't in our area, I can't remember where you are, Gina, but if you aren't in our area, we can definitely help you find a doctor near you that can help you get the help you need. So let us know about that. Message me privately, and I'll help you out with that. So, but
you
yeah,
can also give her the one number.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, everybody, like us, share this with anybody who might help. Okay, because that's we are super passionate for a reason. It's because we've both seen terrific things happen. So,
Gina, if you dial 727-442-7101, that's the place in Florida where I did all my training. I don't know where you're at. If you're within 50 miles of here, you need to be here.
Yeah, she's I think she's halfway through the state, so she's a few hours away. So in Pennsylvania.
I'm worth it, Gina. Come and see me.
But yeah, she's a nice lady.
We'll give you a Sheets card for $5 off on gasoline.
But all right, so yeah, get a hold of us and we'll help you guys out for sure. So thanks everybody, and we really appreciate it. Love you guys.